The US says it has reached agreements with Russia and Ukraine on ensuring safe navigation in the Black Sea. Now, the White House said if this is implemented, the deal will also continue a 30-day halt on strikes against energy facilities in both Russia and Ukraine. Let's take a look at all the details now. The US said that Washington and Moscow have agreed to ensure safe navigation of commercial vessels in the Black Sea. Now, the statement claims an agreement on eliminating the use of force. It also talks about preventing the use of commercial vessels for military purposes. And the statement also said that the US and Russia agreed to develop measures for implementing Trump and Putin's agreement to ban strikes against energy facilities of Russia and Ukraine. The White House said third countries will help in the implementation of the energy and maritime agreements. The Kremlin has said that the deal would come into force after a series of conditions were met, including the lifting of restrictions on State Agricultural Bank and other financial organizations involved in ensuring international trade in food and fertilizers. It also wants to restore these institutions' connections to SWIFT international payment systems. And Russians have also demanded the removal of restrictions imposed on trade finance operations and the removal of sanctions imposed on companies producing and exporting food and fertilizers. Now, they also want removal of sanctions against ships flying the flag of Russia that are transferring food and fertilizers. Now, while there is no direct commercial or strategic benefits to Kiev here, Washington said that it had agreed with Ukraine that the US remains committed to helping achieve the exchange of prisoners of war. The statement also mentions that US will help in securing the release of civilian detainees as well as the return of forcibly transferred Ukrainian children. Now, this deal is effectively a return to the Black Sea Initiative, which was struck back in 2022 with the help of Turkey and United Nations. Now, this is essentially what the map and how it depicts the Black Sea grain deal. The initiative allowed cargo ships to travel to and from Ukrainian ports, that is there in Odessa that you see at the top of the map, along a 357-mile, that's roughly about 574 kilometers, and that's the corridor across the Black Sea right down to the Bosphorus Strait. Russia allowed this travel in exchange for relief on sanctions, but Russia withdrew from that initiative a year later in 2023, complaining that its own food and fertilizer exports faced serious obstacles. Ukraine then established a new temporary export corridor, which you can see was right around the borders. And this was the temporary export corridor which hugged the western coastline.